Hello fellow YouTubers, trying to do another video. I had a request in one of my previous videos in the comments section that I do a urban EDC kit that would fit in a bag approximately the size of a Neatfreak organizer. Well, I don't have a Neatfreak organizer, however I do have a Maxpedition Fatboy VersaPack. The Maxpedition Fatboy VersaPack is slightly smaller than the Neatfreak, so I figure anything that will fit in here will pretty much fit in the Neatfreak organizer. And I know it doesn't have as many pockets and internal pockets and stuff, so I figured this would work though as a stand-in. Pulling this bag off to the side, I started thinking about what I would put in an urban EDC kit. Now, I personally do not have a ton of experience living in a highly populated urban environment. I live in Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm kind of like in between. I'm not rural, but I'm not, not urban. So it's kind of in between, a little bit out in the middle of nowhere. However, civilization is catching up with us. So I had to put a little thought to it and try and figure out exactly what would be in an urban EDC kit. So what I came up with, of course, everybody nowadays is carrying a smartphone. Pretty much everybody. I was one of the few until just last week. I've since picked up a new Samsung Galaxy S3, and of course, anybody's carrying a cell phone needs to have their cell phone charger with them. So these things, while getting better, are not perfect, and so they're still a little bit of a battery hog, and so you need the cell phone charger with the cell phone. Now, the cell phone will probably be on your person, but the cell phone charger will, of course, go in the bag. I started thinking about it, and while the cell phones have a lot of good capabilities with different apps and communication and all that kind of stuff, it never hurts to have a backup. And I still think having a pad of paper and a writing implement is definitely the way to go and to have in your kit. Just having a means to write down notes that doesn't require batteries. So that's one option. Or you can also go with a setup something like this. Now, the Neatfreak organizer actually has lots of pin pouches and little small pouches and pockets and means of organization. So this is my version of that. I have this I call it my little mobile office. I have a pad of paper here, a little Moleskine pad of paper. I have plenty of writing implements because I'm also a gamer, so I have game nights, and everybody needs a pencil to write, and keep notes and keep track of stuff. So I'm always being asked for pencils. So I have plenty of pencils, a couple of pens, a couple of different markers, whiteboard, and permanent, knife sharpener, small knife, laser pointer, lockpick, in case I lock myself out of the house or the car. And so these are my options. This is my little mobile office, and so that's my suggestion, to have some means of writing and recording that doesn't require batteries. So those are some options right there. Now, in addition to their cell phones, a lot of people carry little tablets or e-book readers. This, in my case, is I have a Kindle Touch. The older version, I don't have the Paperwhite, but I like it just as much. And of course, then you also want the charger for that. Having the e-book reader and having a means of entertaining yourself is pretty important, especially I would think in an urban environment where it's all hurry up and wait, where you are having to commute or travel, or you have appointments and then you're waiting for people to fulfill the appointments and all that kind of stuff. At least if you're smart, you're showing up early, because you know, that way you don't end up showing up late, which is always a bad thing. So a e-book reader or some other means, or tablet or whatever, some other means to entertain yourself. Next, I was trying to think of stuff for an urban kit. I was thinking, well, you probably want to have some kind of little first aid kit. In this instance, I've got a little zip top bag that has some different medications and stuff in it for different you know, ailments that may be unpleasant, as well as wipes, alcohol wipes, band-aids, Neosporin. So just a little small first aid kit for little aches and pains and scrapes and stuff you might encounter in your everyday life. Now, if you're a first aid responder, obviously you'll have a more comprehensive kit, and will probably carry that with you instead. But in the meantime, that's for us everyday people, a little small first aid kit. Now, I was also thinking of some stuff you could carry. After 9/11, there was a lot of dust and particle matter in the air. I was thinking, okay, well, you don't even have to have 9/11. There's also smog. You in an urban environment, which means you're in an environment packed with people, and so there could be sick people. So this just having a couple of these folded flat, and you know, maybe in a little Ziploc bag, and carry these with you. If you find yourself in a situation where you are exposed to particulates or airborne pathogen, this will help a little bit. So you could fold up a couple of these and have them in your bag, and you know, be ready for allergy season, or cold season, or flu season, or whatever. A couple of these be useful. Also, in the case of emergency, you're 40 floors above ground level and the power goes out, lighting doesn't kick in, whatever, you need some kind of lighting. So you could carry a flashlight like I do, but if you're wearing a suit and tie as your everyday wear, you might not have a lot of pockets or want to be weighed down with heavy lights, stuff like that. Now, of course, this could go in the bag, and probably would be carried in the bag, but you might also want a cheap option, and that's just a couple little light sticks. These are little dollar store light sticks. They don't provide a ton of light, but they're fairly inexpensive. They provide a good deal of ambient light, and at least enough to help you find your way out. So that's an option. I was trying to think, well, if you are carrying a flashlight, or say, more pertinent, a flashlight, this is a AA variety, you probably want to carry batteries for your different electronic devices. So if you have a device like a flashlight or a gaming device or whatever that has batteries, a camera, you probably want to have some spare batteries for the device. So that would go in the EDC kit, the urban EDC kit. Now, if you're in an urban environment, a lot of cities, a lot of states, they have laws against what kind of knives and stuff you can carry. And people get a little antsy around large, folding knives or whatever. So, a good option to carry in your kit would be a Swiss Army knife. They're fairly innocent. People are not really threatened by them. Plus, they have, function depending on how many, how big of tools you get. How different versions of the Swiss Army knife. It has quite a few tools in it, so it can function as a multi-tool. I'm not thinking that in most urban environments you're going to need to carry, like, say, a full-on multi-tool, unless you're an electrician or something like that, and you're or a carpenter or something like that, where you're in a trade. You probably don't need a full-on multi-tool like a Leatherman Wave. This will probably work. It's got 2 knife blades. I liked this one. This is the Explorer model because it's got a magnifying glass. It has scissors, and of course, like all, well, not all, but the majority of the Victorinox Swiss Army knives, it's got a corkscrew, so you can party, which a lot of urban people do a lot of partying, from what I understand. And I was thinking, well, as you are commuting, maybe riding public transportation or whatever it is you have to do in your commute to get to work, to school, whatever in the morning, you're maybe in a little bit of a rush. You might forget breakfast. So my suggestion is you have some kind of food. It could be Cracker Packs. It could be a Cliff Bar, Nutri-Grain bar, whatever. As an example, I'm just going to put these down. This is just a little cracker and jelly from a MRE I had partially eaten. So I'm showing this as an example. If you're carrying medication, you may or may not have access to water. So you might think about carrying a water bottle, like a little Nalgene bottle, or if you don't have space for it, you could carry just like a little water pouch. This is just like a little Capri Sun pouch, so that's just drinking water. You can find little Capri Sun pouches that are just water. They have all kinds of little water pouches, and you could tuck one of those in there, and that would let you swallow your medication, or give you a drink to rinse down your snack. So it's small, compact, just a little bit of water to have to rehydrate you. Aside from that, you might want to toss into your kit. I don't have one available, but you might consider tossing into your kit one of those little cheap ponchos. That's an option. So you could choose and add, say one of those little cheap ponchos into your bag. It's always good to have some kind of rain protection so you don't get your clothing wet. In my case, I have one of those packable I don't know if I can get it off here. I have one of the little packable rain ponchos that I carry with me. Now, this is a little bulky compared to, say, a little cheap one that, one of the little cheap fold-up ones that you might find that would fit easily in this kit. So, but some kind of rain gear doesn't hurt. I live in Florida, so there's a lot of rain, and so I have a little more durable option. But anyway, that's my ideas for a urban EDC kit. I hope it gives you some ideas. I hope it helps people out. But I think it's fairly comprehensive. It's small. It would fit in the bag that I have, and you know, it gives you a good starting platform for a good urban kit. So I hope it was helpful, and I hope you like it. Thanks. Bye.